It's the Don't Make It Weird podcast with your hosts, Daniel and Dinosaurus.
Hello there. I'm Daniel, and welcome to the Don't Make It Weird podcast. Everyone calm down here, guys. This is episode number 50, and we are your favorite storytelling podcast. We are your podcast for the writing community, and we are so excited that you're here with us today. And guys, we've got a good one today, man. I'm telling you, I've been so excited. This has been a year in the making, setting up for this episode. But before I go too much further, I am joined by my better half. As always, I've got the willowy wanton wrecking machine, who you'd think we know by then, Dinosaurus. What's up, Dino?
Hello there.
Hello there. How you doing, buddy? How we feeling? How's life?
I'm doing good. I did want to say, I know that it wasn't Don't Make It Weird related, but shout out to everybody that helped me pay for Miko's emergency surgery.
Yeah, give us a quick update.
Good.
How's the kid doing?
Yeah, he's okay. He's a shit starter. He's got a really bad attitude because when he starts to come off of the sedatives, he just gets really cranky. And I don't know if he needs a second surgery yet, but so far so good.
And just as a quick recap for the folks at home that don't know what we're talking about, Dina, one of her Basenjis, Miko, a couple days ago had some crazy situation happen. He had to get rushed to the vet. Didn't know if it was like a gunshot or it turned out as a burst gland, and they had to have emergency surgery. There might even have to be a second one for a tumor. But man, huge shout out to the writing community. You guys all came together. You guys all helped out, and I know it. I can only imagine what Dina's going through. I just know it blew all of us away to see just the immediate outpouring of support.
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't sure what I was going to do for a hot minute there, but it literally took 3 hours and over half the surgery was paid for. So
yeah, and so huge shout out and thank you guys. But it's time to get on to the fun stuff, Dina, because how excited are you by our guest? Because we got something special.
It's finally happening.
It's finally happening. One of the OGs of our little Sink Pickle mob. This week, our guest is a mother of plants, people, and a puppy. She's a Jedi Master, a Corgi Wrangler, a coffee and music addict, and a longtime student of heartbreaking romance. Her romantic fantasy, we know by then, is available everywhere. April 5th, ladies and gentlemen, the Poison Ivy, the Pacific Northwest herself, Kirsten Bohling.
Hi, guys. Fancy meeting you here.
Come here often.
It's my first time, but I'm really excited to be here.
Oh my God, we're excited too. So backstory, we've had our little group in the background, our little writers group, and we all came together when Sir Rancelot said, you know what? Hey, I kind of like all you people, and maybe we could all hang out and have a video chat just on a Saturday. And we're all like, I don't know about video chat, but yeah, but we'll type to each other and stuff. And that started a long-term friendship. And we've had the entire Sink Pickle mob on our show, and except for you, Kirsten. And you're that person. You're our
I'm so
rosebud.
excited to finally be here, and with literally the best reason to come and hang out with my friends. I'm only sorry that it took so long.
Listen, this is just a stepping stone, because now you're going to keep on churning out books, and we're going to have you on every month. I mean, Dina, could we swing that?
Yeah, you've got an agent now. Your book's coming out on April 5th. You're killing it.
I'm trying.
You just need to sprint with us more often. That's all.
Yeah.
I do. And I'm sorry. I think that you'll never get rid of me now at this point, now that the seal has been broken, that you can count on me to be here.
It's like when you have to pee when you're drunk.
It just never ever stops.
And I mean, not to, make it weirder than it's already going to be, but we've all established that every one of us in the Don't Make It Weird podcast loves redheads, men or women. We love
Me
them all.
too.
So, yeah. So,
I had anxiety this afternoon because I wasn't sure if you were a redhead again. And I was like,
so you didn't know how much you would love her?
And she has brown hair. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. We just got the show. Yeah, whatever I was going to say. Yeah.
I think I had
brown. What you were going to say?
Oh, sorry, go on. Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, well, no, I did a bad thing and I became a brunette and it lasted like 2.5 weeks before I went, nope, no, this feels wrong. I need to go back to myself.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I need to get back to my roots, but you know, we'd be remiss, guys, if we didn't introduce the third member of our team. And let me just say, audience, he told me that the podcast of my dreams would be promised and someday be mine. He told me that the ratings would grow like grapes that thrive on the vine. Oi, producer Sean is on his way. And folks, we still don't talk about Bruno. No.
No.
What's up, producer Sean? Yes.
Oh my god.
Why didn't you wear the mask, man?
You're muted.
I was gonna wear it, but then I wouldn't be able to wear my headphones and I wouldn't be able to hear you guys. So
yeah,
that's
but
fair. I had to pull out the old Kylo Ren bucket for our wonderful guest, Kirsten. How's it going? Welcome to the show.
It's going fantastic. You have a Kylo Ren bucket?
Yeah, that's a bucket in
oh, the bucket.
cosplay
Okay.
talk.
Okay.
A helmet.
I almost got down my lightsaber. Almost.
Listen, we've all got lightsabers. We can make this happen.
Yeah.
I've got Jar Jar right here for you. Okay.
Oh my god.
Look, if you want to say hi to, hold on.
Misa always thinking of Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, no.
Behave.
No.
Oh, behave.
Oh no.
Oh, this is gonna be a great episode, Sean. I'm already more moist than I have any right to be.
No, Daniel.
What?
Bad touch.
Yeah, bad touch.
Bad touch.
Bad touch.
Did the spray bottle out? So,
That was good.
it felt good. So Kirsten, you know, this is gonna be a fun show. We're gonna get to talk about your book. We're gonna get to, drink a little bit. But before we go too much further, I believe normally we don't do this for guests, but producer Sean, do we? What is that?
What is that? Voicemail. Voicemail.
Write your book, young Skywalker.
Yes!
Palpatine! Darth Sidious was up in the studio. Oh my goodness.
We're pulling out all the stops for you on this one, Kirsten. That's another one of the best friends of the show, Rancelot D. Denton. And, God, there's going to be a lot of Star Wars. For the fans, for the folks that don't know, I mean, because Dina doesn't really understand Star Wars. She forgets about it every
What? I love Star Wars. I just really forget names of things. I'm sorry.
That's fair. I'm just teasing
Star
you.
Wars, actually.
But we
that
love.
was one of the few cult approved movies.
How is Star Wars cult approved?
Because it's old.
Well, and if you think of the Jedi itself is almost cult-ish. So
It was
Oh,
also a
without a
symbol
doubt.
for. It was a symbol for angels and God and the devil and demons.
And it does make sense that a cult would be into a brother and sister kissing. So that makes yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we
fair.
usually fast forwarded through that, but yeah.
Just that one, yeah. Listen, that was like me, like in Top Gun back in the day, because I was just into like jet fighters, like flying. So like that one like romance scene was just fast forward every single time. You know.
you mean the volleyball scene,
But the
right?
volleyball scene was great.
Oh no, that was
Perfect.
that's totally fine. Just greased up bros being bros. Like, what's
Just
wrong with that?
Bros being bros.
I've always questioned why they're playing sand volleyball in their Wranglers. That's always been a really interesting question.
It was product placement. Kirsten.
True. Okay,
A lot
right.
of product
All right,
placement.
fine.
Yep.
I'll give you that.
Big Levi's wanted to get in there, All right, so
That's what she said.
Kirsten, oh damn it, and so it begins. All right, Kirsten. I heard you have a very special story time for us. Why don't you tease the audience a little bit? Give them a little tickle. Give them a little feather on the balls.
This one time, I went to a party and kissed the wrong person.
I
Like
use
by
that.
accident?
Nope. I do
I
not.
can't-
Whoa, do not. Yeah,
No,
we're not
no
saving
questions,
for
no
them.
context.
No, you
Save
gotta
it
have
for
to be
story time.
patient. Be patient.
Yeah, Dina. Damn.
Dude,
I mean, I used the same
Spoilers.
excuse on producer Sean last time I was over there. It happens.
That didn't happen. That's never happened.
Save it for
Wes.
true confessions. All right, so it's time to bring back one of our classics, one of our favorites. Producer Sean, why don't you tell me about the game we're about to do, man?
we're going to play True Confessions. In this game, Daniel, Dina, and Kirsten have all prepared 2 stories. They will be asked to tell the spark note or log line of one of their 2 stories, and they will sell it to the other 2 as if it were true, whether it's true or false. So one of the stories they prepared is true, and the other is false. After they've told it, the other 2 will then interrogate the storyteller for 60 seconds, and then decide if they think they were telling the truth or lying.
And so here's how we'll also do this, just so that we can be nice and quick about it. Kirsten, when it's either mine or Dina's turn, you go first, then either me or Dina, then you, blah, blah, and we'll go like that.
Yeah, because of the latency from the video chat, we trade off on questions, so you're not stepping on each other's toes.
Okay.
Yep. So we'll just we'll ping pong it and go from there. And as our guest, Kirsten, you want to go first?
Sure will, yeah.
All right, Dina. Wait. Dina, pick 1 or 2.
Sorry.
Wait.
Pick 1 or 2.
Yep, they're going to choose story number 1 or story number 2 for you to tell. So you associate those numbers with each of your stories in your head.
I'm going to go with 1.
Number 1?
All
Okay,
right.
with 1.
Okay. I once rode down the highway in a chair strapped to the top of a car for a school project.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Daniel and Dina, start now.
Dina, go first.
What kind of chair was it?
It was one of those baseball stadium chairs. It was low to the ground, and my feet were hanging through the sunroof, so my friends held onto my legs as we drove.
How fast were you going?
At least 65, going the speed limit, Daniel.
Where were you going?
Salt Lake City.
What was the school project?
It was for sociology, and we were supposed to be recording the reactions of people around us while we did something unusual.
What was your grade?
I got an A.
How many bugs did you eat?
I got like 5 in my teeth, but I wore ski goggles over my eyes to help keep my contacts from drying out.
How did your parents know?
No,
Is there video proof of this?
there is not. This is before smartphones were really prevalent, so nobody whipped out an
All right,
iPhone.
all right. To your
Time's
teacher.
up. Daniel and Dina, is Kirsten telling the truth?
I'm going to go first on this one. Dina, why don't you go?
Okay, I'll go first. Sean, actually, do you want to go?
I would really love to, but I'm not participating. So Dina, why don't you go ahead and go first?
God damn it. Okay. Don't move. I'm gonna say true.
Here's the thing. I'm with you on this. This is so outlandish, and you are spot on with every one of these answers. 65 mile an hour is fucking fast, man. That is hard to hold on to someone for any length of time going 65 miles an hour. God, your answers are so good. I want to say true, but just from the sheer danger, this has made my entire butthole pucker. So I'm going to say false because I want to believe this didn't happen.
You are correct. It is false, but it's half true because my husband did it in high school.
Oh, Jesus!
I mean, somebody did it.
Oh my God!
And the chair was held down with a ratchet strap, so it wasn't like a loose chair on top of the car. So, so it actually happened, but it wasn't actually me because I was a good girl. I didn't break a lot of rules growing up.
Oh my God, that is terrifying to see that coming down the highway. Your husband's got some balls of steel, ma'am. Balls of steel.
Yes.
I like it. I want to do it now.
God damn it.
Let's
Dina.
go.
No.
Should we just
All
stop
right,
the show?
Story
and
time.
head
Story
outside?
time with Dina. Let's do it.
I'm ready to go. Does
All
anybody
right.
have a sunroof? I don't have a sunroof.
I have a
poor as
sunroof.
fuck.
Let's do it.
All right, done.
All right.
All
Don't
right.
make a
On our
weird
way to
chair party.
Kirsten's.
All right, Dina,
Dina.
you're
Who
up,
goes
buddy.
next?
So 1 or 2 for Dina, Kirsten.
Number 2.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
I once broke into an abandoned house and stayed the night with friends.
All right. 60 seconds on the clock starts now.
How did you break in?
Just threw a rock at one of the old windows.
Okay.
Why? Why did you break in?
Because it was an abandoned house and we could, and I was influenced by 2 boys, so.
What did you sleep on?
Just the floor.
Did you have like blankets, pillows, anything? Like, do you just straight roughneck
Yeah,
this?
he had like old towels in his car, and yeah, that was it. It was really weird.
What was the weather like?
It's Florida. It's hot.
Did your parents know that you were gone? Like, when did this take place?
They knew that I was gone. I was supposed to be spending the night at my friend's house, actually. She who shall not be, well, we'll call her Michaela. I was supposed to be spending the night at her house, and I was with 2 friends instead.
How did you get home the next morning?
He drove me home. Nobody was home. Nobody knew.
All right, time's up. Daniel and Kirsten, is Dina telling the truth?
I'm torn because it seems like something totally plausible that teenagers would do, but it also sounds like a storyline in a book that I've read. So I'm going to go false.
Oh,
What book?
It was not specifically that, but it's something that happens to one of the characters in It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover.
So Dina, you're a longtime camper. You're known to do it. You RV. You're kind of an always prepared person. I don't doubt that you would or people would break into an abandoned house and spend the night in it, but only in or around towels. That just seems like the most uncomfortable night's sleep and the worst time ever. Like, had you gone sleeping pad, maybe a cot, air mattress, whatever, I would have been on board with this. But because of that, I'm saying false. I'm saying bullshit. You'd be way too prepared to just be coming in
Dina would be
hot on towels.
way more prepared. I agree.
Okay, that's fair, because it wasn't a house, it was a Sonic, and we only stayed half the night. So.
Oh my god.
A Sonic?
You broke into a Sonic?
Okay.
It was an old abandoned Sonic, and we didn't stay the whole night. But
First of all, you guys with your fucking 99% truths trying to pass them as a false is like, I think it's cheating. So next time we're not doing that.
Yeah.
You fabricate a story or you don't. You don't take a true story and change one detail and call it a lie.
This is
writer,
how you know
Sean.
we're all accomplished liars. This is what a good
my
liar
God.
does.
you know,
Yeah.
Okay, Daniel.
Yeah.
It's your turn to tell a story. Kirsten, 1 or 2 for Daniel.
Number 1.
Numero uno.
One time my freshman year in high school, I slapped my best friend in the middle of the face in science class.
All
liar.
right, 60 seconds on the clock starts now.
What caused you to slap him in the middle of right then instead of later?
So because this was early 2000s, we were huge into Attitude Era, WWF, WWE wrestling, and The Rock used to kind of spit in his hand and slap people across the face. And so we had kind of a competition to try to catch each other, slapping each other across the face.
Which friend? What was their name?
This was Jason.
Like,
Was there a teacher present?
There was, and I actually used a clever distraction to get the teacher to look the other way so I could slap my friend across the face.
what did your friend do after they got slapped?
Just stood there stunned as the entire class laughed because we can't believe that it worked.
What was the teacher's reaction when the class burst out laughing?
So he was actually a really chill teacher, and he thought it was hilarious that my clever distraction worked, and he just kind of rolled with it,
All right,
laughed it
time's
off,
up.
and...
What do you think, ladies?
He's a dirty liar.
Yeah, no.
Somebody else did that, not him.
I'm sorry, Dan. I think it's a lie.
What? Why do you think it's a lie, Kirsten?
You're too nice. I don't know. Even like you almost got me with the WWE thing and like comparing it to The Rock, but I think that it might have been somebody else that did the slapping. Maybe you were the slappee in this situation.
Well, you would both be correct. That was producer Sean slapping me across the face in science class. And he literally, the teacher saw him have his hand up about to slap me.
It was It was
Go
a
on.
substitute teacher.
You took advantage of that poor substitute.
And-
Oh yeah, he did.
Everything Daniel said was true, except it was me slapping him instead of him slapping Jason.
Yep.
And what I said was, "Hey, look, a distraction!" And the
Teacher literally turned their head.
and I slapped Daniel across the face.
That's a thing of beauty.
And he turned back, and he didn't know what happened, and people were laughing, and he was just
didn't-
like, "What?"
He didn't hear the sound of the slap. Just
Oh, I'm sure you heard the sound, but
Yeah, I mean, I would,
The whole-
because I was sitting there laughing my ass off too, because I can't believe the audacity of Sean.
no.
very
was a
nice.
bold
And Daniel did slap people, and the whole WWF thing is true, but he just wasn't very good at the element of surprise with
No,
slapping. So
I subtlety is
he didn't
never
get
been my-
away with it very easily or often.
Nope, that is
All right.
true. But that's what boys do. So yeah, man. Yeah,
This
I was,
has been True Confessions.
all right, Kirsten. You gave the audience a little tease earlier, and now you have to understand, guys. We're all about storytelling here, and as such, we try to share a fun story each week. So without further ado,
It's story time with Kirsten.
Well, I was a naive little bean, never went to any like parties or anything like that. I did the very main character energy thing. I was 19 years old and I moved across the country to a new city. I lived there about 3 weeks, and after that amount of time, I ran into a guy I went to high school with. And I went to like a big breakfast club kind of high school. So it felt super impossible. Like, we were excited to see each other, and he invited me to a party that they were having at his house later on in the week. Because I'm me, I brought brownies to a kegger. Just regular brownies, because I'm adorable. And
why didn't we not get? Hold on. If you're bringing brownies to a kegger, why didn't you bring brownies for us on Don't Make It Weird right now? What? Are we not
I'll make it
deserving
up
of
to you
brownies?
next time. Next time I will bring brownies for everybody to munch on.
That's fair.
So I show up at this party and I'm pretty shy, so I'm not really talking to anybody. I'm waiting for my classmate to show back up from work. And this other guy comes in. He's kind of a dick, and I'm a bit of an asshole back to him. I make fun of him, and we go our separate ways for the rest of the party.
I've heard this rom-com before.
Yeah. Later on, we are making margaritas, and everybody clears out of the kitchen. There is one left, and two of us, and my arch nemesis comes into the kitchen and is all upset because I didn't save a margarita for him. But then the tables turn, and this stranger, the strange boy that I don't know, takes away my margarita, and he does the romantic lead thing, and he looks at me square in the eye. He says, "I'm gonna kiss you now."
Oh.
And that happens. In my head, I'm going, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," because I'm in the middle of a movie. I don't know what to do. This has never happened to me before in my life. My classmate walks in, the one that I was there to do the kissing with later. I shrug like this. And so yeah, me and my arch nemesis have been married for 13 years almost now. So
Listen,
This makes sense.
I've said it earlier, and I stand by it. Your man's got balls. He's got chutzpah, kid. He's got chutzpah.
he does, for sure.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
Wow. Can you imagine, like, if you hadn't kissed, like, that's, like, literally the pivotal movie moment.
Yeah.
Where everybody in the audience is like,
Even I made that
so
noise
cute. I
too.
love that.
I'm pretty sure when he told me that like he didn't like that, I just went, mm-hmm. Like, he was like, "Is that okay?" And that's all I could manage. I was like, "Oh yeah, sure. This is normal. This is fine."
We love consent.
consent is sexy. That's another tagline here with us on Don't Make It Weird. Yeah. Man, that's hot. That's hot.
He's
I
so
can.
pretty.
A lot of things making sense now. A lot of things making sense. But
My education in romance began early.
at 19
Yeah.
years old, yeah. Holy
Mhm.
shit. That's a good first kiss story. That's a good one. It's better than when, Dina's first kiss that we ruined for her.
You didn't ruin it, though.
All right, guys.
Did he?
No, we're just
don't think you did.
Yeah.
No.
So Kirsten, I have a question for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do you have tissues handy?
No.
Perhaps a neckerchief or a pocket square?
I have the sleeve of my sweater.
Sleeve
Does
of
that
your
count?
sweater. Okay.
Okay,
As long as it
perfect.
can handle a fair amount of moisture, because we're about to get deep here. We're about to get personal. We're about to ask the hard-hitting questions. We're gonna peel back the layers of the potato as we have interview questions with Dina.
Okay. I'm hoping that you can be the one that we don't have to cut this question out for.
Oh, cool. Can you be our Huckleberry?
What is the best or worst thing that you have ever purchased?
Oh man. I don't know. Gosh.
Say it's the elbow plant. Say the elbow plant.
Honestly,
No
yeah.
feeding the witness.
Wait.
No leading the witness.
It is a plant. I can't tell you exactly which one, but there's a plant that I like. Oh, no. Here. It is a plant. It is a begonia. It was like a firework begonia, and it looked really weird and alien and super cool. And I paid way too much money for it. And even though I run a humidifier in my office, it instantly like shriveled like it was the crypt keeper and died.
Oh no.
So
That's really sad.
what is the
I'm
climate like in your office with that humidifier going? Is it balmy in there?
It's about 51% humidity right now. I try and keep it about 60.
My hair.
It's moist. Dina's
Moist.
like,
It's moist.
That is moist.
she's in
No.
Florida. It's like 98% humidity there 100% of the time.
I know, and I use special products to counteract that.
Oh my. Of course it had to be a plant. Of fucking course.
So, of course.
Hey, we get to keep that question though. Let's go.
What is your biggest pet peeve, either literary or personal? Sounds funny.
My biggest pet peeve personally is when I can hear people chew next to my ear.
Oh.
Drives me absolutely bonkers.
What about swallowing?
Swallowing doesn't bother me, but it's like the noisy chewing. Like it doesn't matter if it's crunchy or not. Just like open mouth chewing is just.
So Kirsten, would you say
like,
that
it sounds
spitters are
like-
quitters?
Is it what?
Hold on.
Would you say that
Spitters
spitters are quitters?
is what he said. Yeah, I was gonna fucking okay. For those of you who don't know, from a previous episode, Dina is concerned that she swallows loudly. Okay, so we've been trying to tell her for like a year that we can't hear her swallowing, but she still thinks we can.
Yeah, and I'm not
then
mature
Kirsten
enough for
just
this.
said she has no problem swallowing, so
So,
this is where we are, you guys.
I was actually.
So Kirsten, again,
I was in a work meeting.
I was gonna say, Kirsten, just let's reemphasize your children under no circumstances should be watching this episode.
No, no children at all.
We
children.
will cut you like a minute long, like PG family friendly edition. Just hey, look, I was on a podcast. Why was it only a minute
Just
long?
me as the Force Ghost. My Star Wars loving kids will love that.
Perfect.
Please.
You're not even just gonna. You're not even saying anything. You just look at the camera and knowingly nod, like the end of Jedi.
So,
Perfect.
So I was in a work meeting the other day, and my headphones are my mic, and I was drinking water loudly, and they could hear me. So now I'm extra paranoid about it.
I feel the same way about how I breathe. Like I'm like half holding my breath. I don't want to like breathe too loud into the microphone because I've been told that
We
I
can't hear
breathe
you
loudly.
breathing. We can hear Daniel breathing,
All the
but that's
time.
normal for us. It's okay.
Yeah.
I cut it out in post, so even if your breath,
Yeah, you could literally-
the mic. I'm gonna cut it out. But hold on a second. Rewind a little bit, Dina. How aggressively were you drinking water?
Yeah, that's a
That
good
people
question.
were like, "We can hear
How-
you."
How hard were you gulping it down?
Oh,
Oh wow,
you really swallowed.
That was-
So
That was
you
something.
guys can hear it, right?
yeah, that
I
was.
could hear that,
was
but-
clear.
That's what's happening. That's what's happening in my head every time I ask you guys that.
Yeah, that's the
I'm not
first time we've
mature
heard
enough.
that.
I'm not mature enough for this. I'm not mature enough. I'm sorry.
I have a confession to make to
Yeah.
Dina.
Oh no. Oh?
I'm not drinking White Claws in this can holder. I brought Truly.
I kind of thought
Oh,
you were
you
cheating.
got
the
I thought you were
Truly.
drinking Truly.
Oh.
I thought you were cheating. I was like, you know what? You know what she's gonna do? She's gonna be Team Shannon, and she's gonna drink Truly instead of White Claw. Not a sponsor, but they could be, and they can make me their bitch.
Yep. You could be.
You know
You
what?
could be our sponsor.
We should do a whole segment, Truly versus White Claw, and then the winner gets the opportunity to sponsor our show.
Let's do it.
So,
I mean,
White Claw makes tea, doesn't it? Don't they make tea?
Yeah.
That would be the ultimate
White Claw
test.
doesn't.
They don't make tea, but if we put like the Truly
Truly
teas
does.
are just not great.
They're so gross.
If we got
Listen.
like flavors together, I think it could be fun.
What is the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to you?
Jesus, Dina.
okay, we're coming in hot.
You don't have to answer, but I mean, figured why not?
You know what? I can actually use my true confessions. The U.S. Marshals once mistook me for the wrong person while I was on vacation in St. Thomas. That was very dramatic.
Oh,
What
I
was
was
it? Were they
I was
look-
pregnant and alone, and I was sitting at the pool reading a book, and they thought I was a different person.
Did they think you were a criminal or like the victim of a crime?
They thought I was the criminal.
Oh my God.
what?
Yeah, the pregnant lady reading a book is the criminal right now. That's yep.
What?
Embezzlement.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Gotta pay for the baby somehow.
So anyway, I can use that to write my Lifetime movie one day.
Oh my God! So, like, did you ever get to see like a picture of who they like mistook you for? Like, was it a similar like?
I think I have one of those faces that like I could stand next to other people and then like I would look similar to them, and I did look similar to that person, but like they had like a 20-year difference. So
Oh my God,
apparently
wait,
I
were
was
you in a lineup with them?
no. We figured it out very, very
Oh.
quickly that I was not the person that they were looking for. Thank
Oh my
God.
God, that's incredible! Yeah, that's dramatic as hell.
Pregnant and in custody.
Okay.
Exactly.
Next on Hallmark.
Wait, isn't there a TV show about giving birth to kids in prison?
Yes.
You could have been on that.
Could've. This close.
Okay.
Could
Are
have
you
been a
guys ready?
prison baby.
Yes.
Is
Are
it
you
time?
ready?
We're ready. It's time.
It's time. Kirsten, what is the superior form of potato?
Tater tot. Hands down. 0 questions, 0 thoughts needed.
Coming hard. How do you like them tots?
Crispy and fluffy on the inside with fry sauce.
Oh, with fry sauce. She answered the question before you could ask it, Sean.
What is the fry
She's
sauce?
Team
she's
White
on
Claw,
Team Alex James,
Team
dude.
Pickle Muff.
Oh my
Going hard
God!
for tater tots.
Yep.
We like it.
This is
we
a
like
strong
it.
team. This is a strong team that's coming in hard for each other right here.
Tater tots
Oh.
are superior. I will not be taking any questions about. I love potatoes, but like there are tater tots on the menu. To 0 questions that they will be mine.
Argue with the wall. Oh my God. All right. Now that you've had a chance to dry off your tears, Kirsten, I hope you're ready because we're here to talk about your book, We Know By Then, which is going to be available everywhere April 5th. This is a romantic fantasy. And can I just start out by saying something real quick, Kirsten? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Chunky, play me some piano music, please. Kirsten, how dare you?
Bro, did she not break you?
I felt a lot of feelings and emotions, and I had thoughts. And this isn't why I read books, Kirsten. I read books for dragons, Kirsten, not to feel things. So how dare you?
This made me question so much. Like when you were talking about your like moment, like in when you met your husband or whatever, and you guys kissed or whatever. If you hadn't kissed him, this book made me start thinking about life like that.
That makes me really happy.
Like I didn't think like that.
That makes me really happy.
I literally started questioning everything. I was like, what if? Oh my God, no! This could be the opportunity. Nope, I'm gonna lose it.
That brings me so much joy.
Okay.
And I want to say sorry for making you feel your feelings, but I've been trying to apologize less for things that I don't mean. So I'm actually really happy that you felt your feelings, Dan.
Okay, well, you know what you could
I'm
just
really
do?
happy about
Just
them.
listen. We're going to be cathartic here together. Repeat after me, okay, Kirsten?
All right.
Fuck off, Dan.
Fuck off, Dan.
Perfect. How'd that feel?
All right. Perfect.
That's
Fuck
good.
off, Dan.
Oh, good.
I'll send you some
Excellent.
tissues, though, if you need.
Thank you.
For your
I appreciate
issue.
that. So for the folks at home, this is a romance novel with some fantasy elements, and just kind of set the scene. You've got a world where people can really only see in black and white shades of gray. They can't see color unless they meet their soulmate and they catch their glimpse, and at which point the world lights up for them. And I think one of the most interesting things that I found about your book, Kirsten, is that there's a lot of repetition in it. Not in the sense of redundancy, but in the same way that you'll find in songs and poetry and things like that, where you find your themes and your points, and it all kind of circles back around and comes together. And was that a conscious decision when you were writing this book to find those poetic repetition moments?
Most of them, like the first or the second time, happened on accident. But so half yes, half no. And once it started, the first time I was like, oh, that's a really great theme, so I'm going to write that out. And even when it comes full circle in the end, I didn't plan that. It just kind of happened, and it kind of settled into place in the right way. So for some of them, yes, some of them, they were a happy accident.
There are no what is it? There are no mistakes, just happy accidents.
Before I get into my question, I just wanted to show people this like awesome stuff that you sent me to the camera for the folks watching on YouTube.
She's just showing nudes, just nothing but nudes right now.
Yeah,
all
that's-
personal
Oh,
nudes.
yeah.
Like
That's
and
what it is.
subscribe.
Please, but you don't have to watch, just subscribe. Okay, so totally just forgot my question because I was fixated on like and subscribe. Yep, that's cool. Oh, how did it feel writing these like so much will they won't they type of moments and everything like that, and building up to this just like perfect couple that everybody wants in romance?
When I'm drafting, I'm like half a reader, half a writer. So like the writer me is like, like I know that it's going to drive people crazy. But I'm driving myself crazy at the same time. And that's like the reason, like number one reason why I like to outline things is because then I have a plan that I force myself to stick to. Because if I had my way, they would have been kissing at the bowling alley in chapter 4. So
Spoiler alert!
I'm just saying that like from a reader's perspective, I was also impatient and self-discipline. It took a lot of that to stick to the plan.
If I can interrupt for a second, because I did read the acknowledgments too, and I heard that our very own Shannon B. Wright, some other Sing Pickle be blessed, was trying to give you advice about that bowling alley scene.
She did. I have a screenshot saved of what specifically she wrote. I think it was something along the lines of Kane swept the beer and pizza off the table and took her right there, and they lived happily ever after.
In the middle of a bowling alley.
In
Let's
the middle
go.
of the bowling alley.
And that's how it became a novella. I like it.
Short, sweet, and to the point.
That's everything with my wife and me.
Dear God.
So one of the things that I thought was really interesting with your story, because obviously it's an interesting decision to take something that is obviously the written word and have it be all about colors. And you have a lot of you have a lot of attention to detail with just every bit of sense, the smells, the textures. Obviously, colors play a huge role in this. What was it in your what is it about your writing process that kind of lends itself to that style?
I've had an overactive imagination since I was a child, and I kind of like have collected details. And even before I was writing, I was paying attention to, I grew up outside of Chicago and I rode the train a lot. And so like I paid attention to the feeling of the engine running, that I could feel it in my chest, or the smell of a bakery as you walk by. So like I was always like drawn to those kinds of details. And then as I got older and I was reading books like that, where you like are really just like picked up and dropped in the middle of this world and you kind of leave your life and it's like true escapism. I love that as a reader, and I wanted to be that as a writer as well.
How did it feel writing a shithead like Gideon?
Fucking Gideon, man.
Fuck Gideon.
Fuck Gideon. Strangely, it was strangely enjoyable because I love writing the bad guy. And I don't know.
It was cruel. It was so cruel.
I don't know how to answer that question. I personally like villains in movies, like in different like fandom and things like that. So getting the opportunity to write him, like I wanted to punch him in the face, but also was, again, as a writer, I was like, oh, this is enjoyable because the way that he acted and the way that just like those kinds of characters act is not how you would treat other people in real life. Unfortunately, there are people like that. And that's not how I act. So then just putting it on a page is almost like an adventure. Like I don't do this. So it was interesting to me to try and think about why he acted the way he did.
And I think that was...
And it was also... Go ahead. No, it's fine. Go ahead. Miko's making noise anyway.
So one of the things, like piggybacking off that with the villain, I think that was one of the most interesting aspects of the world building here that you kind of touched on, because it's, I could see how it would be easy to get lost in the fantasy and the, the love triangle and things like that. But, the very real issue with society where if two people who only see gray and haven't got the glimpse yet are dating, then there's kind of an alarm. There's a clock on that relationship when you know that, listen, at any moment you could be on the subway, your person suddenly pops into color view and it's like, hey, listen, we've been dating 5 years, but peace out.
Yeah.
And I thought that was such an interesting take with Gideon, because you could tell that he was always like, yeah, someday when I get married or blah, blah. And she's like, well, fuck you.
Yeah. I feel like Brighton was always more all in than he was, where he definitely had a different point of view of what their relationship was, for sure. And I know that will be very frustrating to readers who will then find out why Brighton is okay with sitting there in happy enough. Like, because he's not a bad person. He's inattentive. He's not mean per se. He's good at his job. He's good looking, and there's like nothing evil about him. He's not a bad person, but he's not the right person, and their relationship suffers because of it.
Yeah.
And it was also like a mutual, like piggybacking off of that, it was a mutual agreement to be not satisfied, but like I wanted to use something other than happy enough, but that's what it is. It's like, I'm happy enough. Like it was mutually agreed upon, because you're also thinking about there's this chance that out of 7 billion people in the world, my person is on the opposite side of the world and I'll never meet them.
And it's better than being alone.
Yeah.
Having somebody who's okay, who might not be the greatest, best possible outcome, having somebody who's okay and who fulfills you a little is better than not being fulfilled at all.
Yeah. I think that's almost kind of the cruelty of the world. Like, I mean, how much does that suck if you're like, you live in Mexico and it turns out your soulmate's in Luxembourg and you're like, well, we're just never going to run into each other.
Yeah.
Daniel, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Where's Luxembourg?
In Europe, near Switzerland.
Okay, I'm proud of you. Good job.
Don't test me. I'm all about that Luxembourg life. But all right, so one more quick question before we get into a little special something for you. One of the scenes that I absolutely loved, one of my favorite scenes in the book, was that scene where Brighton attempts to bake for Kane, and it doesn't really go that well, but I think it kind of illustrates your style, that you have this absolute comfort with how your characters talk and interact, and they joke and they laugh, and it can be ridiculous and silly and also emotional and deep. And I just thought it was one of those. How much fun was it to write that scene? Where did you draw on for that experience?
So much fun. drew on like the opposite of my own experience, where Brighton, there's a line in there where she like watched half an episode of the Great British Bake Off and like a YouTube video and was therefore an expert. Where have enough experience cooking where I can do that and get sort of an idea of what I'm supposed to do. And she's just like, I'm going to fly by the seat of my pants because she can't cook at all. And I thought this would be really funny if somebody did that same exact thing and just failed spectacularly. But in that moment, it's the thought that counts, where that she put the effort in and she almost burned the whole apartment down, but worth it.
I too burn half my kitchen down.
So Kirsten, we have a kind of a special occasion because when you come on, it's time to celebrate and do something cool. And you asked us to do a reading of your story. You know, picked a little passage out. But and I wanted to do it. I did, Kirsten. I really, really did. But here's the thing: I'm not British, and my British accent isn't very good. So
Mine neither.
we had to call in a professional.
Mm-hmm. So we are actually not just going to do a reading of an excerpt from your book, Kirsten. We actually prepared a dramatic reading in which Dinosaurus will be playing Brighton, and we asked a friend of ours to play Kane, but he can't be here. So this morning, I pre-recorded his lines. So I have that prepared. Give me just a moment.
What are we talking
You better get your reading ready. You're about to read an excerpt as Brighton, Dina.
Ah! Oh my god! Shut the fuck up! Okay, I'm so ready.
So I sent the script to Dina. This is an excerpt from We'd Know By Then, selected by Daniel. And it is a little bit of banter between Kane and Brighton. The role of Brighton will be played by Dinosaurus, and the role of Kane will be played by our friend and former guest of the show, Thomas Anthony Lay.
Oh, good Lord.
That's a good idea, guys. In my head, you were going to say that it was going to be
just trying
like
to see
some
what.
famous-
I'm getting in actor mode now. I'm like, oh, what do I need to? What's my character like? Hey, you've got a way better singing voice than I have.
Okay, so just to set the stage, this scene is between two friends who will likely end up lovers, and they're just playful, flirty banter with each other.
Okay,
that's the
excellent.
Scene. So nothing crazy happens. It's just kind of playful flirtiness or whatever.
Excellent. Okay.
And if you want, we can just run through it once and then see how it goes, and then we can do like a proper run through.
Okay, yeah. Let's do a run through then, and take a sip of me.
Okay then. Whenever you're
So
ready.
Want me to kick off? Okay. Coffee or tea?
It was Kane's turn, and Brighton was relieved to think of anything else.
This might be very un-American of me. I know how most of us feel about their coffee, but I can't say no to a good English breakfast first thing in the morning.
That's what she said.
For Christ's sakes. Phrasing. You are talking about tea, right? Because it's been said, I, myself, am a full English breakfast.
Oh my god.
Brighton blushed harder than she ever had at the notion, punching him in the arm as her sides ached from holding back laughter.
Yes, tea. English breakfast tea. Please, let me change the subject.
Happily.
He wiped the corners of his eyes with a boyish giggle.
Chocolate or peanut butter?
Both. Clearly. How dare you suggest otherwise? Marvel or DC?
Here I was, thinking I'd given myself away by calling you Kal-El.
Kane gave her another collectible smile.
I'm flattered, but I can't agree.
That confirms it.
Brighton shrugged as she polished off the last bite of her hot dog.
What's that?
You don't know everything.
She mumbled over the food in her mouth.
How about you? Are you partial to one Legion of Heroes over the other since you are one?
Does Samwise Gamgee count?
Wasn't he a sidekick or something?
Brighton regretted the words as soon as they came out of her mouth when Cain gave her a look of such incredulity. She wondered if he had qualms over the beginnings of their budding friendship.
Brighton.
He looked out over a field with slow lick of his lips.
The thing about Sam Gamgee is, he is loyal, gentle, giving, loving. Without him, Frodo wouldn't have ever made it to Mount Doom. True enough, Mr. Baggins was the ring bearer, but Sam is the story's hero. He carried Frodo the whole way, literally and figuratively. I'm sure it sounds silly, but old Samwise had a heart strong enough to resist the call of the ring. He was strong enough to carry the emotional load, and because of his love and his hope, they made it as far as they did.
Cain trained his gaze on her, blue eyes flickering toward the corner of her mouth. Brighton's heart skipped a beat as he reached for her, cradling her face with a whisper.
He pulled them through their darkest times and always believed, even when things felt hopeless. How could the end be happy? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come, and when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer.
Brighton wanted to revel in the feeling of his flesh pressed against hers as tingles radiated out from his fingertips across her entire body, like ripples of water on a freshly disturbed lake. She wanted to let her thoughts drift away on the delicious feeling his touch painted her in, but all she could focus on was his eyes shifting back to the corner of her mouth as he leaned forward.
You've got a bit of mustard.
Shit.
Brighton tried to scramble for a napkin, but Cain held her firmly.
I've got it,
He said, unhurriedly skimming the pad of his thumb over her bottom lip, drawing it away to slowly suck it clean.
That's some good advice your hero Sam has.
Brighton sputtered as she tried to regain her bearings.
You never know when it might come in handy.
Cain nodded, unblinking as he leaned away.
Good Sam.
Yes!
Good gravy.
That was fun.
How cool
You
is
got
that?
me all misty-eyed there. That was amazing.
Yeah, how's it going?
I'm fine.
Everything's fine.
I'm good.
I tested the timing out multiple times. I actually, when I did this with Tom earlier, I read both the parts of the narrator and Brighton just so he would have.
Sean's got a beautiful Brighton.
Sorry.
Yeah, Sean's Brighton is beautiful.
And I have it recorded just to answer your question before you ask it.
I would like to see it, please.
And because there was a delay between me and Tom, I had to then go back and recut it so that the timing was right.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I'm
Tom did
never
good.
ever gonna forget that. Thank you, you guys. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening either.
Yeah, I know. We wanted to keep that
Well,
from you.
we wanted to surprise you with Tom, Dina.
Yeah, because we
Makes
love
sense.
redheads here, as we were saying earlier.
Yep.
We do.
And it's funny because it came together like as a super last minute thing. Because I was like, yeah, I guess I could do the reading, but like Kane's British, and I'm like, well, can we
He
just
would
get
end
one
up
of our British
sounding
friends?
Ukrainian or something if Daniel did it.
Yeah. And so I was like, can we just get like one of the British guys do it? Sean's like, yeah, okay, I'll go message Tom, see what he's up to.
Thank you so much, Tom. That was amazing. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
amazing
shout out Tom Lay.
too many
Tom
times.
Lay, our boy from Naisis.
He did good.
All right, so
Proud of that boy.
So, Kirsten, we're going to ask you, each of us are going to ask you one more question about your book, and then we're going to get a little off the wall, get a little crazy, and go from there, okay?
Sounds good.
Dino, would you like to go first?
Am I supposed to do off the wall now?
No, just one more question about the book, and then we'll go off the wall.
Any closing thoughts,
Oh, okay,
Dina?
yeah, I can. I can go first. Actually,
Yeah.
Daniel.
Oh, yeah?
I'm okay if you go first.
Okay. Would you like it if I went first? Sean, could you go?
Yeah, I would.
I think you should go first, Daniel.
Oh, okay. All right.
I hate this bit, just so you guys know.
Okay, so my next question is kind of piggybacking off what we were talking about before, like with that baking scene, is that you have this fun, playful energy between your characters, and the dialogue is incredible. Like, that's the biggest thing for me. Does it feel authentic? Does it feel real when I read the story? Because I think it's easy to get wrapped up in the dramatic, feelings and the big feelings and not get normal human interaction right. But one of the things I actually loved is during your steamy scenes, your romance, there's scenes where there's moments where they bonk each other on the head, where they kind of fall over, where there's like, kind of that goofiness that I think is normal with intimate behavior. And what was it like, how do you write scenes like that? How do you build these out?
I often think of like, what's the worst, funniest thing that can happen right now? Like everything is like the tension is like taut like the string of a violin. Like what's going to be the thing that's going to like make it go boing and like give it like that horrible like like
would you say
kinda,
make boink boink?
Yeah. But like what will cut the tension? Because if like things between them have always like flip-flop between being playful and being serious, when they flip from being friends to being more, and they're all caught up in it. And I wanted like a reminder that that they're human, and that that real life love scenes don't look like they do in Top Gun. Where they're all in slow motion with blue lighting and things like that, and that they're friends too on top of it. So like that part of them wasn't going to go away if they became more than friends. So that was just an important thing for me to make it feel human and not lose who Brian and Kane were at the heart of each other.
So what inspired the birthmarks?
I did some research on some Nordic runes, and I looked at the different meanings of all of them. And for me, that specific one, I won't go into what exactly it means. But the thing I liked about it the best is that it really reflected what Brighton was going to go through on her journey. And I felt like it balanced her as a character really well. If you want to go look it up and find out what it is, it might be a fun little Easter egg. It's not something I talk about a lot, but I just felt like it fit when I read what it meant.
Interesting. I'm definitely going to do that. And for the folks at home, the part of the world is that to find your soulmate, you guys have matching birthmarks. And so your birthmark is kind of how you find one of the ways that you kind of confirm that there's a soulmate there. And so there's a lot of symbolism, I guess you would say, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right.
I had one more question though.
Get it, girl.
Because this is like one of my all-time favorite books now. So as a writer in general, a romance writer specifically, just to piss off Shannon just a little bit, do you think you have to have a happy ending in romance? I understand that like it's a standard and everything, but we're just talking about like personal.
My personal opinion when I read a book that is romantic, no, personally, I don't think that it needs a nice like neat and tidy, happy ending, like a cookie cutter. To me, personally, not like just personally, just me. I kind of like it when I'm left in a pile, like less like pieces of a human at the end of a book. And it could be like, as long as there's like, if there's like a promise of something, I think that like the purists would argue that that is not a happily ever after or a happily for now. But to me, I think I personally have a different definition of what a happy ending looks like. So too long, don't read. No, personally, I don't think that romances need a happy ending. But for the industry, that's called a love story, not a romance, because there's a plan that you follow. If in order to fit in the rules, if you're gonna call it a romance, it has to have an HEA or an HFN. That made me nervous. Did you hear how long I rambled around that answer?
Yeah, that was scary. Yeah, listen, because that
I'm very nervous because the romance society will come after you.
Yeah, and Shannon is going to have deep thoughts, and her and Dean are already in a war over this. So, I just hope that you guys can stay friends.
I'm sorry.
For the record, I love you too, Shannon, but I will destroy you.
Sean, could you play our apology, please, for all the romance fans?
I'm sorry, everybody. We didn't mean it. We still love you. I'm sorry, baby.
I'm sorry, baby. All right. So now it's time to go off the wall questions. This is a segment that Dina is always 100% prepared for, always ready for action. Dina, hit us with an off the wall question.
Jar Jar Binks.
Don't you dare.
Jar Jar Binks replaces Kane in your novel. Do you think that she will still end up with him as the main love interest?
Fascinating question.
For sure. I think that Jar Jar has a lot of amiable qualities. He's very lovable. He has long fingers. And we don't need to...
Sean, kick her off. She's got
Cut show.
I am a lifelong Star Wars fan, and I even like Jar Jar. You will not convince me otherwise. I think that she could make things work with Jar Jar. He's sweet, and he made it as a political partner for Naboo. So I think that like anything's possible as far as how Jar Jar can mature in a relationship.
He's basically responsible for the rise of the Empire. So
I agree with you. Just from the geeky corner, I agree with you, and I don't think that the jury is out on him being a secret Sith Lord.
You're just speaking all my language. Kirsten, I love you so much right now. I can't even put into words. I'm having my glimpse. I'm having a glimpse right now, Kirsten.
I'm going to take one of my dog's sleeping pills.
All right, so now I have to change my question slightly. All right, Kirsten, are you ready? Because I already know that you're in love with Jar Jar, and I don't need to be redundant here. Marry, fuck, kill.
Okay.
Jabba the Hutt.
Damn.
We've got Watto from episode 1.
Oh my god.
And Max Rebo of the Max Rebo Band. Sean will post up pictures of these, so you guys, for you friends, people that don't know the obscure characters here, we'll post them up for you. But basically, it's a flying trucker, a blue elephant, and if you don't know who Jabba the Hutt is, I can't help you.
Okay.
Did you say flying trucker?
Yeah, that's trucker style. You know, Watto is basically that.
This is a hard question. Okay, first of all, marry Jabba the Hutt. He is rich. He is powerful. I could, it'd be like a mob boss kind of situation. If he disappears a few years into our marriage, then so be it. So marry Jar Jar, not Jar Jar. Sorry. Jabba.
Yes. No, say it again. Just say it again.
We know what's on your mind.
Yeah, baby, those long fingers.
Mary. I don't remember his name.
You married Jabba.
You said
I said marry
Jabba the Hutt.
Marry Jabba. Kill the blue guy. Not Watto. And I'm gonna Max Rebo, and I'm gonna regret this, but fuck Watto.
Fucking Watto, baby.
One and done on the counter in the shop. Yeah. For
on
ship
the counter
parts.
in the shop.
Maybe he would take that instead of galactic credits. Yeah. So like if I would have got it done
fair.
for my queen of Naboo. I would have got her shit, and then we would have been out of there.
Instead of risking
would have saved a lot of
instead of risking an 8-year-old's life, you just take one for the team.
I would.
Kirsten's the real hero of the story. That's all I'm gonna say is, oh my god.
It'll be nice living in Jabba's palace. I'm just gonna say, that they give it a really lovely atmosphere in the Book of Boba Fett, like with the flowy curtains and everything. A Bacta tank whenever I need it.
Yeah, you have your own pet
tank
Rancor.
is the winner right there.
Done.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Kirsten, remember how I told you I loved you, right?
Yes.
I hope that you'll still love me after this. Because you see, every week we celebrate some of the worst erotic literature in history, usually selected by the Literary Review, a British literary magazine, in a segment that we call Cringy Copulation. These are real excerpts from real books intended to be taken seriously. This week's excerpt will be read by Kirsten and is from 1Q84 by Haruki Murakami.
All right, I'm clicking
Kirsten.
on
You don't read ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Dina, can you focus, please?
I'm trying to keep my dog at bay.
In the next second, Tango realized that he was ejaculating. The violent spasm went on for several seconds, releasing a great deal of semen in a powerful surge. Where is my semen going? Tango's garbled mind wondered. ejaculating like this after school in a grade school classroom was not an appropriate thing to do. He could be in trouble if someone saw him. But this was not a grade school classroom anymore. Now he realized that he was inside Fukaeri, ejaculating toward her uterus. This was not something that he wanted to be doing.
Dina,
Boy, oh
thoughts?
boy.
Do you ever have like moments in life where you're like, damn, I really wish I had stayed in the boat?
Can't say I relate.
I had that moment just
I've
now.
never seen the word ejaculating in a sentence so much.
Yeah, that was a lot. Kirsten, how'd you feel reading that one, buddy?
Sweaty.
Sweaty?
Sweaty. Yeah, very
The
moist.
humidity just went up 20 degrees in that office.
That's now 80 instead of 60.
I mean, but I also am like sitting here and like wondering, like, I mean, I'll give him credit because I'm like super intrigued because I'm like, at the end, he gives you that line of, okay, well, it's actually a sperm going towards your uterus. And he goes, this isn't what I wanted to be doing. It's like,
How did you
what?
get
How
there?
did you? Yeah, wait. What did you think was going to happen, friend?
But what, ladies
Was
and
he
gentlemen,
just,
that's
like-
what we call post-nut clarity right there.
Was he just like trying like thought his pull-out game was stronger than it was, and he's like, oh no.
That's a good point.
Like, where did he think he was gonna go?
I mean, he thought he was in the classroom.
It's gotta go. There's only one direction that
Okay,
it goes.
but he clearly thought he was in a classroom and not a uterus. So
I mean, I make that mistake all the time. You know, it's normal.
How big is the uterus?
That's a great question.
19 inches? Wait, what is the circumference of the largest woman?
Oh yeah, the largest.
I'm pretty sure we
yeah.
did
Live?
this research before.
Yeah, hold on, let me look
I
up.
don't remember.
large-
Yeah, we have. Shannon helped us research, and I think it's 19-inch circumference for her.
All right, hold on. I've got.
What is
this.
this, a
Vagina.
classroom for ants?
All right, so this is Anna Haynes Bates, born in 1846. She's from Nova Scotia. She was almost 8 feet tall and weighed nearly 420 pounds. And let's see, her husband was 7'9".
I'll never complain about my weight again.
All right, so
She was also 4 feet taller than you, Dina.
jeez.
Oh, great. So she was skinnier than you think, Sean.
Oh my god!
I'm kidding. It was just too easy to let you walk
Okay,
into
so
that.
she birthed a 23-pound baby, and the baby's head measured at 19 inches in circumference. That means that Anna's vagina dilated up to 15 centimeters. The average vagina taps out at around 10.
But what is
Yeah,
like
that's essentially a
her
classroom.
standing vagina circumference? Like, not her dilated giving birth.
Did they measure it in the before
It
and
changes, right?
only the
Do they?
like?
Is there a
not the
metric
after?
for that? Like,
It said
I feel like if I were to take a measuring tape, I would be able to
well,
find
okay.
Wait,
So it
somebody
says
whip out a ruler.
circumference.
my vagina.
The circumference measured at 19 inches or 48 centimeters.
What is okay? Let's see what the average vagina circumference is.
We're learning a lot on this show, Kirsten. I knew you were
Science.
interested in large
yeah,
vaginas.
science, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, you'd have to be able to dilate to that point to get in with Jabba. So, you know.
Good God!
This can't be right. This can't be right. Oh, that's millimeters. Oh, thank God. What is the millimeter conversion for inches?
Tina,
For inches?
just
Yeah.
Google how
It's
many.
about
Okay, a vagina can, the average vagina diameter is 2 to 6 centimeters.
all right.
I
So
don't have a measuring
1
tape
inch
right
is
here.
2.5 centimeters.
6 centimeters?
So it's a knuckle. Right here. That's an
Just
inch.
just under that.
That's
So,
a bit, yeah.
okay.
Well, that's a big vagina. I'm with you.
Six
But she's a lot
Yes,
bigger than
6
that.
centimeters is 2.36 inches.
Yeah, and she was...
So
But then we go to 10 centimeters or millimeters when dilated?
Centimeters.
he said 15.
Oh my God, it gets so big.
centimeters.
That's what she said.
Oh!
Oh my God.
That was a
It's about 6
classic.
inches.
You walked right
How
into
does it get
that.
that big?
Yeah, we did. All right, gang.
This is why I don't want children. That's a lot of.
stuff.
That's
That's
big.
big.
I don't
Yeah.
like it.
So guys, as we we're saying, Kirsten's amazing story, We'd Know By Then, is available April 5th. You can find it everywhere where you can find books. And we have a little tradition on this show. And Kirsten, we'd like you to give a 1-second pitch for your book. You can lie, seduce, berate, attack, or seduce the audience, whatever you want to do in this 1 second, but it can only be 1 second. And then afterwards, we'll give you a whole chance to give the real elevator pitch and tell people why they should buy your book. But are you ready? Are you prepared?
No. Yes.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to count you in. 3.
Colors and tissues.
I would have some serious questions if I hadn't read it.
No, I'm in, man.
You need
Colors
the
and
tissues
tissues.
for
Tissues.
multiple reasons.
Multiple reasons.
I'll wear my white pants.
Don't laugh at him.
Don't encourage him.
he's the
Don't
worst.
encourage him.
I'm trying.
All right, guys. All right, Kirsten. Now you're ready. Give the people the big pitch. Tell them why they should buy your book. What are they in store for?
All right. So the main character, Brighton, sees in color when the rest of the world sees in black and white, literally until the moment that they meet their soulmate. But her life experiences have kind of built her into the person that she's not quite convinced that she wants or even needs a soulmate. And a chance meeting with a man kind of sends her carefully cultivated happy enough into a tailspin. And it makes her doubt a lot of her decisions, especially when their meet cute blooms into a true friendship.
Yes. And guys, for the folks at home, I am not her target demographic. And I've said this before. I'm not the romance guy. I'm the dragons guy. And when I say that I just became her target demographic, that's how good this book is. It absolutely blew me away. It made me feel all the feelings. It punched me in the gut. It lifted me up. I mean, this book is incredible. It's well written. It's funny. It's heartfelt. And you're gonna be a mess by the end of this. So this absolutely gets our seal of approval. We want you to check this book out. Available April 5th. Dina, tell people about how much you love this book.
This book made it right up there with John Ortega. I had to say it like that.
Ortega.
There you go.
It made it into my top 5. It's such, like, I still think about that book every single day. And Daniel is absolutely right. Like, this book is the type that can make you a genre converter. And I've only heard Daniel say that about one other book. And I have no words because I just think about them all the time. It influences my writing now. It has changed my perspective on when I read other books in the genre. Like, it's become like that thing that you compare everything else to.
It's the measuring stick.
It's
Oh
that
gosh, I'm gonna cry
13-inch.
Yeah.
Man, it was such a good read. I cannot wait for this to come out. I cannot wait for the rest of the world to check this out. And man, Kirsten, you survived.
I did.
I feel like we didn't swear enough. Do you want to get it like some more swear words in there? Get a couple of
Fuck, chick, dick bad. I want to say ejaculating one more time.
Nice.
Oh, do you want to say jism? That's one of Dina's favorite words.
Come, Papa.
Jism. I have never said that word before, and now I'm going to say it once a day.
Yep, as you should. As you should. I expect to see this in your next romance novel, Jism. And also for the folks that, maybe you get a little sneak peek at the end of this one, I see that Kane might have his own story coming out too.
What? Oh, yeah,
I can't
okay.
say anything.
I forgot about it. Okay. Oh my God, the way I had a heart attack, but now I remember.
I can't say anything officially yet, but there are several stories about Brighton and Kane in my head that will make it to a page of some sort, be it my website or a book. sometime in the future.
Kirsten, you have a website? What website would that be?
That would be KirstenBohling.com. KirstenBohling.
Yes.
And because, hold on, Daniel, I have a question because I think this is very important. We all know that Kirsten is a big Raylo supporter.
Fix your headroom.
Right?
Yep.
So I want to know, what is Brighton and Kane's relationship name? Is it Brain?
Fuck.
Daniel, fix
It
your
has to be
headroom.
Brain.
I think we played around with a couple other ones that I can't remember now because Brain has just been stuck in my head. And I'm sure that there are...
Chitin.
That's a good one. There was some we played on like Brightiker. That was another one because he's Kane Whitaker, which seemed better than Brain.
I love Brain.
I feel like so hashtag Brain might get mixed up on Twitter or someplace. You know, like go to a mixer, a Twitter mixer with some neurologists and just make them really confused.
Yeah, and especially for anyone who's seen the movie Waiting, if we were just talking about the
God.
brain,
Not
baby.
the brain. No.
No. Superman the way.
Don't Google that, Dina. Don't Google it.
Don't Google the brain. That's one of my story times with Daniel, actually.
Wait, is that a sex thing?
It's a sex adjacent thing?
Sex adjacent.
I already don't.
I'm gonna
Don't worry,
Google.
that's
I'm
one of the
writing it
future
down.
story times with Daniel. Yeah, that'll be one of the.
I'm gonna Google it.
Kirsten's
now.
taking
Brain.
notes. Okay.
So,
It's
The brain. It's just
no,
the brain.
it's
Yeah, it's
puppetry
just
of the
a brain.
penis.
Wait, there was some of that in Pam and Tommy, if you're curious, for like a more modern take on a puppeteered penis. Yeah. No, it's worth a
That
watch
sounds
for sure.
like something Tommy Lee
don't
would do.
know.
I watched
You know what you can
the
do?
first episode of that, but haven't gotten far into it. Are you going to tell us about what we can do?
yeah,
with
Dina,
the
please,
puppetry,
as a
Dina?
woman, please.
As a woman, please tell us what to do.
so my friend once dared me to, because she said it was the funniest thing that she's ever done in the bedroom, to like walk up to Tim and just tap him, like his
Wait, with penis or balls?
His
Penis,
what?
hold on.
and just go
Penis or balls? Shaft or balls?
penis.
The shaft.
Are we talking about
Just
the
go.
tip or the root?
Just go. It doesn't fucking matter. Just go. Just tap it and go, is this thing on?
That's it. I'm doing that
The
later.
microphone.
You got to get closer to the mic.
Can I just tell you it was the funniest? Can I just tell you it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever done in my entire life? Like, sometimes I'm funny, but that was like the height of me being funny
She
ever.
peaked there, you guys.
What was Tim's reaction?
Yeah. Wait.
He turned up the volume.
That's a look of distress.
He just sat there. He just sat there.
Oh.
He just sat there, like, because what do? You can't do
He
anything.
was playing off of like your whole comedian bombing spiel where you're like, is this thing on? And then he's just giving you a stare look.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's really funny. 10 out of 10 recommend.
All right, folks at home who are listening or watching this, go ahead and try that with your partner and report back in the comments. How did it go?
Yeah, please let us know. And
Today on Romantic Advice with Dina.
I'm
still
gonna do
better
it.
than Cosmo advice. Still better than Cosmo advice. And once again, I found myself needing to say, "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry you had to hear this stuff."
That was long overdue.
Cosmo was the brick and mortar, the mortar of my relationships in high school.
And that's why you aren't in those relationships anymore.
That's a good point.
Oh man, this was so much fun. Kirsten, did this meet your expectations? Was this everything you wanted it to be?
Oh, it obliterated them 100%. It was so fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, well, thank you for coming on, and I can't wait for this book to get released and for everyone to check it out. I can't wait for book 2 so we can get you back on, and I can find more terrible cringy reads to make you read. It's going to have to be a party, Kirsten, because we're 100% behind you here. A lot of ejaculation.
It makes me so uncomfortable.
All right, guys, this has been another incredible episode of the Don't Make a Weird podcast. Kirsten, where can the folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Kirsten Bohling. I'm also on Instagram at Kirsten Bohling Author, and on TikTok doing really dumb things at Kirsten Bohling as well.
They're good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
They're
we're
good
Team
things.
TikTok now. And Dina, where can the folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter at DinosaurusD. That's D like
And producer Sean, you've got a special T-shirt on. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about it.
What could it be?
This is one of the special edition t-shirts from LostBoysPress.shop in support of the Heroes Anthology coming out. Actually, by the time this airs, it's out. Buy
It's
it.
out. You can buy it.
LostBoysPress.shop.
By the time you guys see this, everyone here except for producer Sean is going to be a published author. Even though Sean's name is in the Heroes book, so it kind of counts. He is a published piece.
I'm counting it.
Yeah, I count it. Yeah,
I think it counts.
absolutely.
I'll give you credit.
And
I'll add you to the roster of the Lost Boys.
And Kirsten-
Yeah, just throw me in on the Goodreads page.
yeah,
That's fine.
yeah, just toss them in, man. I'm in. And guys, you can find me on Twitter at Dan Q Writes Thing. That's Dan Q Writes Thing singular. It's not.
donk.
It's donk.
I always read it as
Kirsten?
dank.
No, Kirsten!
Is this thing on?
No,
Yes!
Kirsten! No! Is this?
Yeah.
I live in Washington State. It's dank. Sorry.
That's dank.
Oh,
It's
that's
dank.
true. Yeah, there's no donk out in Washington State. Oh my God. And producer Sean, where can the folks find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Chase Holdu.
And what are you eating tonight, buddy?
Beer.
Beer.
Breakfast of Champions.
Same.
What's for dinner?
Well,
Dina,
wait,
Dina, real quick, I panicked. We forgot something. Tell them where they can find the merch.
Store.don't make
Oh
it
my
weird.
God.
.net. Is it
No,
shop?
you
It's
got it.
shop,
You
isn't
got
You
it.
got
this
it.
time.
You
Don't-
got it this time.
Don't second guess yourself.
Hey! If you ever want to sit on producer Sean's face, you can buy our $50 blanket. We'd appreciate it.
We only get like $5 from it. Thank you.
But we love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of this. You guys are the absolute best. I can't wait to see everyone next week again. Check out We Know By Then by Kirsten. We're out of here. Jazz hands.
Don't Make It Weird. Hosted by Daniel Quigley and Dinosaurus. Produced and edited by me, Sean Holden. Theme music by Amaria. You can find the video version of this show on our YouTube channel or the audio-only version wherever you download your podcasts. If you enjoyed the show, please like and subscribe. It's free to you and it helps us out a ton. Have a message for Dina or Daniel? Leave us a voicemail at 347-69-WEIRD and we'll listen to it on a future episode. Thanks for making it weird with us, and we'll see you next time.